The stars above Earth shone quietly, indifferent to the turmoil below. Humanity's planet had always seemed small and fragile in the vast universe. But tonight, it was the focus of the galaxy's most powerful empire. The Galactic Empire, with millions of warships spread across thousands of star systems, had arrived at Earth's doorstep. They expected a simple victory, a surrender. But Earth had plans the universe would never see coming. In orbit, the Empire's massive fleet hung like a black cloud. Its ships were enormous, triangular, and bristling with weapons powerful enough to destroy continents. From the surface of the planet, the sight was terrifying. Cities below flickered with emergency lights, warning systems blaring. Governments had issued calm statements for their citizens, but deep down, everyone knew the truth. The Empire did not negotiate. They conquered. In the United Nations Orbital Command Station, representatives from every nation huddled in a large circular room. The air was tense. Screens displayed live feeds of the Empire's fleet, slowly moving into attack formation. 1 million tiny dots in space represented ships, far too many for Earth to match. Admiral Kara Riaz, a woman in her late 40s with a stern face and sharp eyes, stood at the center of the room. She had served in every space campaign humanity had ever fought and had faced the worst dangers the solar system could throw at them. But nothing compared to this. "They expect us to surrender," said General Malik, a tall man from Earth's Space Defense Force. His voice was steady, but there was tension in his shoulders. "They think we are weak, unprepared, and scared." Admiral Riaz shook her head. "They do not know us. They think because we are smaller, slower, weaker, they believe we cannot fight them. That is their mistake." A murmur ran through the room. Everyone knew she was right. Humanity had been underestimated for centuries. Other civilizations thought Earth was a backwater, a weak species clinging to one blue planet. But humans had survived ice ages, supervolcanoes, plagues, and wars that had destroyed empires. They were survivors, and survival had made them clever, adaptable, and ruthless when necessary. On the screens, a gigantic alien ship activated its communication array. A deep, echoing voice filled the command station. It was cold, mechanical, and commanding. "People of Earth," it said, "you have 10 standard hours to surrender. Submit all military command and planetary control to the Galactic Empire. Resistance is useless. Submit or perish." The voice was calm, but absolute. No emotion, no mercy. Some representatives gasped. A few stumbled back in shock. But Admiral Riaz's expression did not change. She turned to her team. 10 hours, she said softly. "They believe we are powerless. Good. Let them think that. Let them wait while we prepare." In the secret chambers below the surface, the real leaders of humanity gathered. Not the politicians, but the true minds who had been working in silence for decades. Scientists, engineers, strategists, they had been preparing for this day without the galaxy knowing. Among them was Dr. Lena Rao, a brilliant engineer who had designed Earth's most secret projects. Her hands shook slightly, but her eyes were steady. She looked at the models of massive ships scattered across the table. "These are not just ships," she said. "They are shadows. They are what the galaxy will never see coming. The Empire believes we are weak, but these ships can strike, vanish, and strike again. They are faster than anything in their fleet, tougher than they imagine, and designed to survive in the worst conditions." A younger officer, Captain Ryo Takeda, leaned forward. "How can we be ready in 10 hours? The fleet is scattered across the asteroid belt, the moons, even beyond Pluto. It will take time to mobilize." Dr. Rao smiled faintly. "That is why it was hidden. Everything is ready. All crews are trained. All ships are fueled. When the time comes, we just flip the switch. The Empire will not know what hit them." Back in orbit, the Empire's commanders held a council aboard their flagship. They were confident. They had done this thousands of times across the galaxy, a weak planet, isolated, filled with primitive humans. Resistance was almost always symbolic. They expected to see Earth's leaders surrender on live feed. "We must be ready to strike," said Admiral Vork, the Empire's chief tactician. "Their communications are weak. Their ships are few. They cannot resist. Let us prepare for full orbital bombardment if they hesitate." Another officer, a younger alien with violet scales, frowned. "Do you really think they will surrender without a fight?" Vork's eyes glowed faintly. "This is Earth. They are nothing. Resistance is irrelevant. We wait, they surrender, and we claim their world. That is all?" They had no idea. They had no clue that humans had already predicted this moment, had prepared for this arrogance, had hidden the real power of Earth in shadows. On the planet's surface, humans watched as the Empire's fleet moved like a tide of metal across the stars. People feared for their families, for their homes, for the planet itself. But in underground bunkers and secret command centers, humanity's true leaders were calm. They were preparing, not panicking. Admiral Ryaz returned to the command room, above ground. "We do not negotiate with fear," she told the assembled representatives. "We buy time. We give them the illusion of weakness. Every hour they believe we hesitate, every moment they think we might surrender, it works in our favor. Patience is a weapon." Outside, satellites scanned the incoming fleet. Sensors confirmed millions of ships, more than humanity had ever counted. But still the secret shadow fleet remained invisible, cloaked, hidden, waiting for the moment to strike. General Malik asked cautiously, "And if they attack before we are ready?" Admiral Ryaz's eyes hardened. "Then they will discover too late that we are not defenseless. They will see what humans can do when they are pushed to the edge. They will see shadows move where light cannot reach." Meanwhile, deep below, the surface in the largest hidden complex the Shadow Fleet's crews were preparing. Humans had trained for years in zero-gravity simulations, combat drills, and survival tests. They were ready. Engineers checked systems, recalibrated weapons, and monitored power cores. Among them, Commander Arjun Vela moved silently. He had seen countless battles and simulations, yet this was different. The enemy was real. The stakes were real. But his confidence was unshaken. "Remember," he told the crew, "we are the last line. If Earth falls, humanity falls. But they will not see us until it is too late. This is our moment. We strike from darkness. They will not know what hit them." Hours passed. The Empire's countdown ticked slowly. 10, 9, 8. Earth appeared silent, still, helpless. But below the surface, everything was alive with preparation. Every crew member, every weapon system, every hidden ship waited for the signal. Finally, Admiral Ryaz addressed the world. Broadcasts went out to every city, every home, every network. The message was calm, controlled, and firm. "We have heard the Empire's demand. They believe we will surrender. They are wrong. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not kneel. We endure. We survive. We will respond, not with fear, but with strength." Across the galaxy, alien eyes widened. No surrender, no negotiation, just defiance. And in the shadows, the first ships of the Shadow Fleet hummed to life. Engines glowed faintly in the darkness of hidden hangars. Weapons systems calibrated. Communications went live between crews in silence. The countdown to humanity's strike had begun, though the Empire did not yet know it. They waited for Earth to surrender. They expected fear, weakness, submission. But Earth had something no one expected. The Shadow Fleet. Earth seemed calm from space, almost peaceful, as if nothing unusual was happening. But the calm was deceptive. Millions of eyes in the galactic empire were fixed on the blue planet, expecting submission, expecting fear. They saw cities with lights glowing, traffic moving, people going about their lives, and they assumed humanity was trembling, waiting for orders from alien conquerors. Deep below the surface, in vast hidden complexes, humans were anything but trembling. The Shadow Fleet stirred in silence. Ships that the galaxy had never imagined existed were hidden in asteroid belts, moons, and secret stations scattered across the solar system. Their hulls were black as void, angular, and almost invisible to scanners. Commander Arjun Vela walked through one of the hidden hangars. Hundreds of crew members moved in precise patterns, checking weapons, calibrating engines, and confirming coordinates. The place was alive with quiet energy. No one spoke loudly. Orders were given in clipped, confident tones. Every person knew their role. Every ship had a mission and every system was ready. "Status report," Arjun said, stopping in front of the largest ship, the Shadow Serpent. Lieutenant Mira Chen, standing on a control platform, tapped a holographic display. "All systems operational, cloak stable, engines at 20% readiness, weapons primed, crew trained and ready. We await your order, Commander." Arjun nodded. "Good. Remember, no one outside this complex can know we exist. The Empire believes Earth is defenseless. They expect us to bow. That is our advantage. We strike from the shadows. Let them underestimate us." In another hangar, Dr. Lena Rao checked the power cores of several stealth ships. Her hands moved with precision, tightening connectors and scanning energy flows. She paused, looking at the holographic map of the solar system. Tiny, red dots marked enemy positions in orbit. Tiny blue dots marked humanity's hidden fleet. "They think they control the solar system," she muttered. "They do not know what waits in the darkness. Not even a single red dot knows we are ready." Meanwhile, above Earth, the galactic Empire's fleet continued to loom. Ships shifted slowly into attack positions, massive war machines glowing with energy. Alien commanders were calm, but growing impatient. Hours had passed, and humanity had not moved. They had not surrendered. Admiral Vork stood on the command bridge of the flagship Oblivion. His long, dark cloak swirled around him as he stared at Earth. "They wait," he said. "But why? They are weak. They cannot hope to fight us." "Where is their fear?" A violet-scaled officer beside him replied, "Perhaps they are stubborn. Perhaps they hope for miracles, or perhaps they are hiding something." Vork's eyes narrowed. "Hiding against us? Do not be ridiculous. Nothing can be hidden from the Empire. We have sensors across the galaxy. We can detect their ships, their weapons, their communications. They are exposed. We wait and they will surrender." But the Empire's confidence was misplaced. Humanity had learned long ago to move in ways the galaxy could not detect. Their stealth technology was advanced. Their ships designed to appear as nothing more than asteroids or space debris. Even the Empire's most sophisticated scanners would not detect them until it was too late. On Earth, General Malik watched the orbital feeds with Admiral Riaz. The surface looked calm. The sky was full of alien ships. People were scared, but they were alive. And that was all the Empire would see. "They think we are paralyzed by fear," Malik said quietly. "They think the humans below are helpless." Riaz's lips curved slightly. "Let them think that. Fear can be a tool if wielded correctly, and the longer they wait, the more confident they feel. That confidence will be their undoing." Hours passed. Alien warships remained in formation. Earth cities stayed lit, broadcasting calm messages, while beneath the surface humanity's engines and weapons systems hummed quietly. Crew members practiced drills in zero-gravity training rooms. Engineers adjusted targeting arrays. Scientists ran final calculations for navigation through the asteroid belts. Commander Arjun moved between hangars, observing silently. Every crew member he saw moved with precision, with focus, with an understanding that the fate of their planet rested in their hands. There was no panic, no fear, only preparation. "Remember," he reminded them, "we strike when the time is right, not a moment earlier, not a moment later. Timing is everything. If we act too soon, the Empire may detect us. If we act too late, Earth could be destroyed. Wait for my order." In the asteroid belts, hidden hangars hummed as ships began. Silent system checks. Plasma engines glowed faintly in shadows. Hulls shifted slightly, making micro-adjustments invisible to any sensors outside. Each ship was a predator, designed to hit fast and vanish. On the moon Europa, another section of the fleet waited. Crews trained in combat simulations that mirrored real battle scenarios. They were learning to anticipate enemy tactics, adapt, and survive. Alien ships were powerful, yes, but humans had learned to use unpredictability as their greatest weapon. Back in orbit, the Empire grew impatient. Admiral Vork paced the bridge. 10 hours have passed, he said. Where is their surrender? They have no hope. They cannot resist. Send a warning. One final chance. Then we destroy them. The violet-scaled officer shook his head. Perhaps we underestimate them. Perhaps we should be cautious. Vork laughed softly. Caution? Against insects? No, we wait. Their fear will force them to surrender. That is all. But Earth was not an insect, and humans were not weak. In one of the deepest bunkers, Dr. Rao activated a simulation. A holographic projection displayed the Empire's fleet and the hidden positions of the Shadow Fleet. Tiny blue lights moved along black lines, ships leaving hiding spots, forming strike patterns, preparing to cut through enemy lines. Captain Rio Takeda watched the simulation, shaking his head in disbelief. If this works, it will be the first time any species has hidden such a fleet and struck from nowhere. Even in theory, this is impossible. Dr. Rao smiled. Humans are not bound by their theory. We build, we adapt, we survive. They expect obedience, weakness, surrender. We give them silence and shadows. Outside, the wind of Earth's atmosphere blew through cities, calm and ordinary. Children played in parks, unaware that billions of kilometers above them, a massive alien fleet awaited their planet's submission. People lived their lives thinking the danger was distant, while secretly, humanity's last defense stirred in hidden shadows. Commander Arjun walked through the main hangar again, stopping before the largest ship, the Shadow Serpent. Its black, hull-absorbed light, its engines hummed faintly like a heartbeat. Crew members were strapped in, weapons loaded, sensors active. All was ready. Remember, Arjun said to the bridge crew, we are not visible, we are not detected. We are shadows. The Empire will wait, thinking they have us. But we control this moment. The universe does not know the storm that is coming. Hours turned to minutes. The Empire continued to wait, unaware of the ships moving in asteroid belts, hidden moons, and distant orbits. They assumed Earth was paralyzed with fear, waiting to bow. They assumed humanity had no strength to resist. And yet beneath the surface, every ship was ready. Every crew member knew their orders. Every weapon system was calibrated. Every stealth engine waited to fire. The galaxy watched, expecting a surrender. But silence filled the solar system instead, and in the silence the Shadow Fleet waited. A heartbeat passed. A minute passed, and then the first engines began to glow faintly in distant hidden hangars. The time was near. No one outside the secret complexes knew. Not the Empire, not Earth's surface civilians. Only those in the hidden hangars and bunkers knew the truth. Humanity did not surrender. Humanity waited. The stars above Earth had never seemed darker. From orbit, the Galactic Empire's fleet hung like a living shadow, vast and unchallenged. They had waited patiently, smug in their certainty. Humanity would surrender. Humanity had no chance. They assumed the blue planet below was fragile, defenseless, and ready to bow. But they were wrong. Below the surface, in vast underground complexes and hidden stations across the solar system, the Shadow Fleet stirred. Ships long hidden in asteroid belts, moons, and distant orbits began moving in silence. Engines powered up, sensors came online, weapons calibrated. Crews sat in tight formation, hearts steady, minds focused. Every human aboard every ship understood one truth. They were about to change the galaxy's understanding of Earth. Commander Arjun Vela walked along the main bridge of the Shadow Serpent, the flagship of the hidden fleet. His face was calm, eyes sharp, scanning every readout. Final check, he ordered. Confirm cloak integrity. Confirm weapons are armed but undetectable. Confirm coordinates. We move in 5 minutes. Lieutenant Mira Chen tapped her console. All systems green, Commander. Cloak stable, engines ready, weapons primed. All ships in position. Awaiting your command. Arjun nodded. Good. Remember, the Empire expects nothing. They expect surrender. We give them shadows, and when we strike it will be from the darkness itself. Far above, the Empire continued its vigil. Admiral Vork and his officers had grown impatient. 10 hours had passed since their ultimatum. Earth remained calm. The planet had not surrendered. No signals of compliance, no fear, just silence. Vork's voice echoed across the flagship's command bridge. They wait, he said. Do they believe we will destroy them? Do they think our patience will falter? A violet-scaled officer spoke cautiously. Perhaps they are planning something we cannot detect. Vork's eyes narrowed. Impossible. We see all. Nothing can hide from the Empire. Earth is a weak planet. Its people are fragile. Resistance is irrelevant. We wait and they will surrender. But Vork could not know how wrong he was. Across the solar system, humanity's hidden ships moved silently into position. Cloaked vessels shifted behind asteroids, disappearing into the blackness. The smaller strike crafts took positions near enemy ships, ready to dart in and out like shadows of death. Every sensor, every communications channel, every tactical map had been preloaded with the Empire's fleet positions. Humans knew exactly where their targets would be. In the command center of the Shadow Serpent, Arjun addressed the fleet. The Empire expects fear. They expect surrender. They see only Earth. They do not see us. That ends now. Strike, but strike cleanly. Hit hard, then vanish. Hit again and again until their fleet is in chaos. Lieutenant Chen's fingers danced across the holographic controls. All ships reporting ready, Commander. Awaiting final signal. Arjun's voice was calm but carried weight. Give the signal. And then, in the darkness of space, the shadow fleet moved. It was almost invisible at first. A flicker here, a glimmer there, as cloaked ships adjusted their positions. But then, in the blink of an eye, the first human strike erupted. A massive alien command ship, the pride of the Empire, exploded without warning. Energy surged outward, tearing through the hull. Shields failed instantly. Crew members aboard the alien vessel screamed in confusion. There was no warning, no negotiation, no surrender. Only sudden, precise destruction. Impossible, shouted Admiral Vork. He leaned forward, scanning sensors. Sensors detect nothing. Another explosion rocked the fleet. Smaller human ships darted in, striking key points on dreadnoughts, then vanishing into the shadows before counterfire could respond. Alien fleets scrambled, firing blindly into the darkness. But the humans were gone. They were shadows, predators striking at the heart of a massive prey. On Earth, people looked up at the sky as flashes of light lit the upper atmosphere. Some thought it was a meteor storm. Others felt panic but could not understand what was happening. All they knew was that the sky was alive with explosions, far above their cities, far beyond their comprehension. In the Shadow Fleet's command centers, humans moved with efficiency. Crews cheered silently when a target was destroyed. Engineers monitored weapon performance, adjusting for maximum effect. No human had a fear in their heart, only purpose. They were fighting not for glory, not for conquest, but for survival. Arjun Vela watched the first wave of strikes unfold. Keep moving, he ordered. Strike fast, strike hard, then vanish. Let them think it was a fluke. Let them think they are invincible. The Empire is about to learn what humans truly are. On the Empire's flagship, Vork's face grew pale. His calm confidence had been shattered. Reports poured in. Command ships destroyed, cruisers crippled, entire squadrons gone. His officers were frantic, shouting orders into chaotic communication channels. Sensors showed nothing, yet the damage was real, massive, and sudden. They cannot be detected, one officer stammered. Their ships? How? Vork slammed his fist on the control panel. Impossible. We are the Empire. Nothing can hide from us. Focus sensors. Scan again. But the scans revealed nothing. The humans were ghosts, shadows in the void, striking and vanishing with deadly precision. The Empire's fleet, despite its size and power, was confused and terrified. Meanwhile, in the asteroid belts, the Shadow Fleet repositioned. Ships that had attacked now disappeared behind massive rocks and hidden stations. Smaller craft darted between enemy ships, striking weak points, then vanishing. Every strike was coordinated, every move calculated. Humans were using tactics the galaxy had never seen, exploiting stealth, speed, and precision in ways the Empire had never imagined. Dr. Lena Rao monitored energy outputs from hidden stations. "They are surprised," she said quietly to herself. "They cannot believe this is possible. The humans they underestimated are ghosts, predators in the void." On the ground, Admiral Riaz coordinated orbital defenses. Communications channels were alive with tactical updates, crew reports, and target confirmations. Civilians below were unaware that their survival depended on these unseen, hidden ships striking from the darkness. Captain Rio Takeda sat at his console, eyes wide as the first alien ships began to retreat in panic. "Commander, look at the sensors. They're running. They're actually running." Arjun smiled faintly. "Good. Let them feel fear. Let them understand that Earth is not helpless. Let them know that humans do not surrender." Across the Empire's fleet, alarms blared. Alien admirals shouted orders that could not be executed fast enough. Their warships were too slow, their reactions too predictable. Humans, moving from shadow to shadow, dictated the pace of battle. Explosions erupted across the void. The Empire's flagship took minor damage from a precise strike before the ship vanished again, leaving alien commanders scrambling for answers. Smaller fleets were annihilated before they could organize counterattacks. The galaxy had never seen such sudden, ruthless efficiency. Back on Earth, in the bunkers and command centers, humans barely celebrated. They knew this was only the beginning. The Empire had thousands of ships, but now the scale of human resistance had been revealed. Now the Empire knew they had underestimated Earth. Arjun stood in the command center looking at the holographic display of the battlefield. "This is just the first strike," he said. "The Empire will regroup. They will not understand us, yet. But we control this moment. The galaxy will learn a new truth. Never underestimate humans." On the Empire's flagship, Admiral Vork finally spoke, his voice trembling slightly. They are ghosts. Invisible. Unstoppable. Every attack, precise, unexpected. How can this be?" A violet-scaled officer replied, voice low. "Perhaps Earth is not as weak as we thought. Perhaps they are something we did not expect." Vork's eyes burned with fury. "No. Impossible. This is not possible. We are the Empire. Nothing can resist us," but it was already too late. The humans were everywhere and nowhere. The Shadow Fleet had revealed itself, and the Empire's arrogance had been shattered. Across the solar system, hidden ships returned to safe positions after each strike, then reappeared at another location. Every strike was sudden, devastating, and impossible to predict. Every enemy ship destroyed sent shockwaves through the Empire. They had never faced an opponent like this. The silence of space was shattered by explosions. Bright flashes of energy lit the darkness, but no ship could be seen between the bursts. From orbit down to the asteroid belts, the human Shadow Fleet moved like ghosts, striking and disappearing, before the Empire could react. What began as a single surprise attack had become a full-scale nightmare for the Galactic Empire. Commander Arjun Vela watched the holographic display aboard the Shadow Serpent. Alien ships that had been confident, proud, and ordered just hours before were now scattered, disabled, or fleeing. Their fleet, once a symbol of power, was crumbling under precision strikes from hidden ships humans had built in secret. Lieutenant Mira Chen tapped her console rapidly. "Enemy reinforcements detected. Multiple fleets are trying to regroup. They're attempting coordinated counterattacks, but their sensors, they still cannot detect us." Arjun's face remained calm. "Good. Let them try. Every attempt Make exposes their weaknesses. Every move they take is predictable to us. Prepare the next wave. Hit their communication nodes first. Disrupt coordination. Strike hard, then vanish. In the asteroid belt, human strike crafts darted between massive rocks, appearing out of nowhere to fire on command ships and disappearing again into shadows. Each attack was precise, targeted, and devastating. Alien captains who had expected surrender and obedience now faced an enemy who seemed to appear from nowhere, strike without warning, and vanish without a trace. On Earth, civilians looked up at the sky, watching flashes of light and strange patterns of explosions in orbit. Many thought it was a meteor shower. Some panicked, but they had no idea the truth. Their planet was alive with hidden defenders moving unseen in the darkness to protect them. Back in orbit, Admiral Vork's rage grew. His fleet was in chaos. Communication channels were jammed. Command ships were destroyed faster than he could repair orders. His eyes blazed as he barked orders that were already too late. "They cannot be detected," shouted a violet-scaled officer beside him. "Sensors show nothing, yet every strike hits with perfect accuracy. How is this possible?" Vork slammed his fist on the table. "Impossible! They are weak. They are a primitive species. They cannot do this." But the reports told another story. Hundreds of ships destroyed, critical systems shattered, alien fleets scattered. The humans had transformed the battlefield into a chessboard, and they controlled every move. On the Shadow Serpent, Arjun smiled faintly. "Keep pressure on them. Target their shields, their engines, their command centers. Let them realize that they are not hunting us, we are hunting them. Every strike they feel will be calculated. Every loss they suffer will be precise." Lieutenant Chen's fingers flew across her console. "All teams report full readiness, strike waves in position. We can continue this assault for hours without detection." Meanwhile, deep in the hidden bases on the moons of Jupiter, Dr. Lena Rao monitored energy output and weapon performance across the fleet. "They are panicking," she said quietly. "Even their most disciplined admirals are losing control. Every wave we strike weakens their resolve. Every shadow they cannot see makes them fear." Commander Arjun nodded. "Good. That is the point. Fear is a weapon. Fear will make them make mistakes. Let them waste their firepower. Let them expose themselves to us. And when the time comes, we will finish this." In the chaos above Earth, alien fleets attempted to organize. Small groups of ships tried to form defensive lines. Shields glowed across the void as they fired, blindly into dark space, hoping to hit the humans that no sensors could detect. But every strike was countered, every move anticipated. Captain Rio Takeda watched from the command center of one of the larger human ships. "They're trying to organize again, Commander," he said. "But every attempt fails. Our cloaks hold, our weapons strike with perfect timing. They don't know where we are. They cannot hit us." Arjun's calm voice filled the room. "That is the advantage of shadows. We are everywhere and nowhere. They see only what we allow. Their fear grows with each loss. Remember, precision, patience, and unpredictability. That is humanity's power." In orbit, Admiral Vork's fleet was in full retreat. He could no longer count on formations. Communication breakdowns caused ships to collide accidentally. Hundreds were disabled by hidden strikes from human ships that seemed to vanish into thin air. His confidence, once absolute, was shattered. "They are unstoppable," whispered a violet-scaled officer, pale with fear. "Every wave, every strike, precise, terrifying. How can humans achieve this?" Vork turned to him with a glare. "Do not speak such nonsense. Nothing is impossible for the Empire. We will adapt. We will destroy them. We will not fail." But adaptation required knowledge, and humans gave them none. Each attack revealed only enough to frighten, to destroy, but never enough for the Empire to understand the pattern. The humans struck and vanished, leaving the aliens in confusion and panic. On Earth, Admiral Riaz coordinated defense systems. Satellites fired missiles at enemy ships attempting to escape the Shadow Fleet. Laser turrets targeted ships in low orbit, The coordination between surface forces and the hidden fleet was seamless. Every alien strike blocked, every human counterattack. Devastating. Prepare the next wave, Riaz instructed. They cannot handle this. Every attack makes them weaker. Their arrogance has blinded them. Continue the pressure. The human fleet struck again. Alien ships attempting to flee were cut down. Command ships were destroyed. Supply lines severed. The Empire's pride and confidence crumbled with every explosion. For the first time, the mightiest power in the galaxy realized that humans were not weak, not fragile, and certainly not predictable. In a hidden command station near Saturn, Dr. Rao addressed engineers. Adjust targeting to the next wave. Focus on weak points exposed in the last attacks. They still cannot detect us. Let us make every strike more devastating than the last. Lieutenant Chen's console lit up with dozens of new targets. All. Strike crafts ready, Commander. Engines charged, weapons primed, cloaks stable, awaiting order. Arjun's eyes scanned the holographic display. Give the order. Strike again, with maximum precision. Remember, we do not waste firepower. Every hit counts. Show them that humans are not prey. We are predators. And the humans struck again. This time, they targeted the Empire's command and communication networks. Explosions erupted silently across the fleet. Ships lost coordination. Signals were jammed. Confusion spread like wildfire. Alien commanders screamed orders that never reached their subordinates. Entire squadrons drifted, in space, blind and destroyed one by unseen human ships. The Empire's flagship, Oblivion, shook under repeated attacks. Shields flared, engines surged, and internal alarms rang. Admiral Vork's face was pale. His anger was no longer controlled. He shouted orders, but every command failed to reach its destination. His fleet was paralyzed and the humans were still, invisible. Commander, said Lieutenant Chen, her voice steady, the enemy's morale is collapsing. Their formations are broken. Panic is spreading. Arjun's eyes glinted. Good. Let them feel fear. Let them realize that Earth is not a weak planet. Let them see that humans are unpredictable, relentless, and unyielding. This is the turning point. Across the solar system, smaller human ships darted between enemy formations, cutting supply lines and attacking key engines. Alien ships exploded one after another, unable to hit their unseen enemies. Even their most sophisticated weaponry was useless against a foe that appeared from nowhere, struck and vanished without a trace. On Earth, civilians watched as bright flashes lit the night sky. They had no idea that their planet's salvation depended on the hidden fleet. Many cheered, thinking it was a miracle, while others panicked. Yet above them, humans in the shadows continued their precise, deadly work. Hours passed. The Empire had lost hundreds of ships. Their command structure was crumbling. Alien admirals were terrified, unsure if they could continue the fight. And yet, the Shadow Fleet remained calm. Each strike was measured, each move was calculated. Humans fought with patience, precision, and intelligence the galaxy had never seen. Commander Arjun stood in the Shadow Serpent's command room, watching the holographic battlefield. We have shown them our strength. We have proven that Earth is not weak. But this is only the beginning. Every strike teaches them fear. Every shadow we move in becomes a story they will never forget. On the Empire's flagship, Admiral Vork stared at the holographic display. Ships exploding, formations broken, panic spreading. His confidence was gone, replaced with disbelief. They are everywhere and nowhere. How can this be? A violet-scaled officer whispered, voice trembling. They are shadows, my lord. We cannot touch them. Vork's eyes burned with fury. No, this cannot be. The Empire cannot fail. We will adapt. We must. But adaptation required understanding, and humans revealed nothing. They struck from darkness, vanished without warning, and left only fear and destruction behind. The Empire had been forced to confront a truth it had never imagined. Humans were no ordinary species. Humans were predators in the shadows. The void of space was alive with chaos. Alien warships spun through the darkness, crippled, exploding one after another. The Galactic Empire's pride, their mighty fleet, was now a broken shadow of its former self. Every command ship destroyed, every formation shattered, every signal jammed. And at the center of this storm floated the humans' secret weapon, the Shadow Fleet. Commander Arjun Vela stood on the bridge of the Shadow Serpent, his calm presence a stark contrast to the chaos unfolding in the void. He watched holographic displays of the enemy fleet, broken, scattered, and panicking. Hundreds of ships had already been destroyed. Hundreds more were drifting blind in space, powerless against attacks from ships they could not see. Lieutenant Mira Chen leaned over, her console. "Commander, we have tracked their flagship, the Oblivion. It is damaged but operational. If we strike now, we can end this battle." Arjun's eyes narrowed. "Yes, but precision is key. We strike for maximum impact, no mistakes. The Empire must learn the cost of underestimating Earth." The Shadow Fleet moved in perfect coordination. Cloaked ships darted between debris fields and asteroid belts, approaching the Empire's remaining formations from multiple directions. Each ship had a target, and every strike was timed with absolute accuracy. Humans were not just fighting. They were orchestrating a symphony of destruction. Above Earth, civilians watched streaks of light and explosions flash across the night sky. Panic and awe spread in equal measure. Some thought the end had come. Some whispered prayers. Few knew that humanity's hidden fleet was actively dismantling the galaxy's mightiest power. On the Empire's flagship, Admiral Vork's face was pale. His confidence was gone. His fleet was in ruins. He had underestimated Earth, underestimated humans, underestimated their ability to survive, adapt, and strike with lethal precision. They cannot be detected. A violet-scaled officer whispered. "Every attack, a perfect timing. How is this possible?" Vork's eyes burned with fury. "Impossible. We are the Empire. Nothing can resist us. Nothing can hide. Destroy them." But there was nothing left to destroy. The humans had already dismantled the command and control network. The remaining alien ships were scattered and panicked, unable to coordinate or escape. Every maneuver was anticipated, every move countered. The Empire was helpless against predators they could not see. Commander Arjun gave the final orders. "Target their flagship, then disable all remaining capital ships. Smaller vessels will be neutralized by orbital defenses. Let the Empire understand fully what it means to challenge Earth." Lieutenant Chen's fingers moved rapidly across the console. "Targeting arrays locked, weapons systems ready, cloaks stable, ready for final strike." Arjun nodded. "Engage." The Shadow Serpent surged forward from the darkness, engines glowing faintly, undetected until it was almost too late. Hundreds of human ships followed, each moving like a shadow across the battlefield. Alien ships fired blindly into empty space, striking nothing. Then the first wave hit. The Oblivion's shields flared as precise strikes tore through its hull. Energy cascades spread across the flagship, disabling weapons and engines in seconds. The Empire's most powerful ship shuddered, smoke and fire spilling from its core. Crew alarms blared, but the humans were already gone, vanished into the shadows. On the holographic display, the alien fleet fragmented. Ships collided as panicked crews tried to maneuver blindly. Smaller human strike crafts darted in and out, hitting exposed engines, weapon arrays, and communication systems. Each strike was surgical, calculated, devastating. General Malik watched from Earth's command station. "They are finishing it. The Empire is finished. They've lost everything they brought to Earth." Admiral Riaz nodded. "And they will never forget this lesson. Humanity does not surrender. Humanity survives. And when we strike with precision and purpose." In the Shadow Fleet's hidden stations, Dr. Lena Rao monitored the energy outputs and systems of every ship. "All targets neutralized," she said quietly. "The Empire's fleet is no longer coordinated. Their forces are shattered. Humanity has proven its strength. Commander Arjun's voice echoed across the fleet. Prepare boarding protocols for remaining ships. Focus on disabling engines and capturing critical systems. Show the Empire that Earth does not destroy without purpose, but also show that we can decide who lives and who dies. The humans' second wave struck simultaneously. Boarding pods launched at crippled alien vessels. Trained crews entered enemy ships, disabling systems, capturing control centers, and securing vital intelligence. Alien soldiers, terrified and exhausted, surrendered in droves, unable to comprehend the humans' stealth, speed, and strategy. In the chaos, Admiral Vork realized the battle was lost. His flagship, Oblivion, heavily damaged, had no functional weapons or communications. Most of his fleets were destroyed. Retreat was impossible. Surrender was inevitable. Yet pride and arrogance burned in him. "They will pay," he whispered. "They cannot be allowed to humiliate the Empire. We will return. We will—" But the words died as a shadow struck. A human ship appeared out of nowhere and disabled the flagship's final engine, leaving it adrift. The humans were everywhere and nowhere. The Empire had no hope. On Earth, Admiral Riaz ordered orbital defenses to target remaining alien ships attempting to flee. Missiles and laser arrays cut through the enemy with perfect timing. Every ship destroyed added to the Empire's shock and fear. Captain Rio Takeda watched the final strike sequence unfold. "It's over. They're done. The Empire is finished." Arjun nodded silently, his eyes scanning the void. "Not just finished. They will never underestimate humanity again. They will never forget the lesson of the Shadow Fleet." The last surviving alien ships surrendered, floating silently in the void. Humans boarded them to secure prisoners and recover intelligence. Every action was controlled, precise, and measured. There was no chaos among humans, only purpose. The galaxy would remember this day, the day humanity revealed its hidden strength. The day the Empire, confident and arrogant, discovered that Earth was not defenseless, that humans were not weak, that humans could strike from the shadows with deadly efficiency. In the aftermath, Commander Arjun looked out into the void. Ships of the Shadow Fleet returned to hidden positions, engines silent, cloaks reactivated. Humanity had won, but they did not celebrate with arrogance. They respected the cost, the planning, and the courage required to defend their planet. Admiral Riaz addressed the remaining human commanders. "This is more than victory. This is a message to the galaxy. Earth does not surrender. Earth survives, and humanity will defend itself, no matter the odds." Dr. Lena Rao smiled faintly. "The galaxy believed we were weak. They thought we would bow. But they learned the truth. Shadows are more than darkness. They are strategy, patience, and power. They are humans." Commander Arjun turned to his officers. "Prepare for any retaliation. The Empire may rebuild, but they will never underestimate us again. Today, humanity showed the galaxy its strength. Tomorrow, we ensure the lesson endures." On the crippled flagship of the Empire, Admiral Vork stared at Earth, his rage and disbelief burning bright. The humans had destroyed his fleet, humiliated the Empire, and proven that their species was not one to conquer easily. He knew, deep in his heart, that this defeat would haunt the Empire for generations. Across the galaxy, whispers spread among surviving alien civilizations. They spoke of the Shadow Fleet, a weapon the galaxy had never imagined. They spoke of humans, a species underestimated for centuries, now revealed as predators in the void, survivors capable of unmatched strategy, endurance, and cunning. And back on Earth, the people looked to the sky, unaware of every hidden movement that had saved them. They only knew one truth: humanity had survived, humanity had struck back. Humanity had shown the galaxy that surrender was never an option. Commander Arjun Vela stood on the bridge of the Shadow Serpent, silent. He looked at the stars, thinking not of victory, but of the future. The Empire would rebuild. Other civilizations might try to test Earth. But now, the galaxy had learned. Humans were predators in the shadows, clever, patient, and lethal. The Shadow Fleet had been released. The galaxy would never be the same.